All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of System Shock Radio. I, as always, am your host, Nigel. And today we've got a special episode featuring my brother, Tony, and my sister in law. All right, so you guys on and episode with my sister got put. So, all right. You guys ready to go?
Yep.
All right. All right, so I guess we'll take it from the top. So, how'd you guys meet?
We met at hip hop karaoke. He was performing, but he had called me out. He called me AJ because he knew of me previously from an old friend of mine. And yeah, so that's how we started. Like, I guess that's probably like what opened up the door. And then we later on just started texting.
Pretty cool. All right. So, second question I have is, what does your ideal date night look like?
Can we take that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so an ideal date night for me and her. We always love to go out to eat, so I'll pick a restaurant that would definitely suit both of us. For an ideal one, I attempt to do a little more upscale because we like Longhorn, Olive Garden. I'm trying to do something more upscale that we can find, preferably out of town. Anyway, I do something a little more upscale, just to test it out, and then take like a nice long walk around the water, just talk. Fine.
Sounds romantic. All right. Next is, what were your reactions to meeting each other's parents?
All right, that's something for both of us. All right, so I'll go first. So my reaction to meeting her parents, I'm like, wow. I was not expecting them to have that, because she's Jamaican. I was not expecting them to have that strong of an accent, because if you notice, she has no Jamaican accent.
I have none.
And if you speak to her father, it sounds like he was like Bob Marley's roommate or something. The accent is so her mom sounds British. Her mom sounds like British Jamaican, but the minute I met him, man, we clicked. Like, that's the always thing about me. Whenever I met someone's parents, we always clicked. It was always good.
It took him a while. Because, we have a lot of personality. And Tony is really quiet. And Tony used to always be on his phone. And my mom used to be like, tell him to get off his phone and socialize. And then, after a while, he weaned himself into it. But yeah, and then they just loved him. Okay, so my reaction to the parent. Well, I already knew of Mr. Dixie when I had worked at the daycare. So I already knew his dad. So that was easy.
Our dad.
Yeah.
Okay. So I already knew of him. And he was always the funny guy by block, always. So I'm like, that's good. His stepmom, definitely, I say the first time me and his mom went on a date. Because, of course.
Our mom.
Of course. I like to get to know people. So I'm like, okay, I want to, let's go out to eat. Let's talk. Let me know about him. You can get to know about me. And I think it was just so great. I loved it. And I was just happy that he came from a great family. Because my biggest fear is dealing with somebody, because somebody can be good and then their family is just jacked up and ghetto. And I don't do ghetto. I don't. Let this be all the ghetto it can be. And this is not even full ghetto. I'm fine with this. But yeah, and then on his grandmother, his aunts, I was like, okay, God, I see you. You give me all the signs. I'm like, they just nice, and they remind me of, they remind me of my mom, how she dressed, the classiness, I just love them. I'm like, okay, you clean, everybody's respectful, and you guys were very embracive. I can say that, like,
Mm.
very embracing. Like my first time meeting you guys were like, it was just like open arms, and I love that because I felt like very welcomed and like appreciated.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Like I always like to keep it honest with people. That's how our dad always taught us, is always be upfront, always keep it honest with people. Well, because they'll be honest with you in return. Most of the time, that is. But
Honesty is key.
absolutely. And then next up is, what does the dream vacation look like for you?
I'll let you answer this one
a
first.
dream vacation. Now I am very simple. I am simple. A dream vacation for me is us being surrounded by just trees and grass and a nice cabin, have a nice fire going, and we just talking or reading or watching a nice scary movie or a romance movie or an action movie. It doesn't matter, but I would like that whole like because that's intimate and it's simple, but that does it for me. I'm like us to just be like just like alone by ourselves and wow, just surrounded by that nature and let it be cold out too so we can get all snuggled and cuddled. So that's my dream vacation. I'm not very like I'm extremely easy. I'm very easy. What's yours?
See, I like the way she thinks, man. Nice and simple. Nice, simple, and cheap. That's the way to go. Nah, but like for me, I would like to take her like to like London or somewhere where we can
I
like
could do London
out of
too.
the country to
I
like
could do
Europe.
London.
To I've always wanted to go to London, so we could go there. Try out different restaurants, explore the scenery, get to meet the people out there. And just enjoy our time together. And also Italy would be dope too. I would like to check out the food. It's not mostly just about food, but just the scenery and everything. But
Yeah.
that's definitely like a dream vacation for me also.
Yeah, definitely. Like Italy, if you see pictures of Italy, it is so beautiful down there. And I guess
Right.
my final question is, what is the Krabby Patty secret formula?
Wait, what was that?
What is
What?
the Krabby Patty?
Oh, the Krabby Patty secret formula.
I think
Uh, I know what it is.
I think it's toenail clippings.
Toenail clipping.
All right, all right, all right.
It's, def- it's
My
definitely
actual
it's
final
definitely
question.
it's definitely sour water.
All right, so my actual final question is there any advice you have for the newer couples out there, maybe couples that sprang up during quarantine and everything, whatever the case may be? Do you have any advice for them?
All right. So I would say communication and trust is the foundation of any relationship. If you don't have either one of those, you don't have anything. There's nothing to build upon. That's how you set the foundation to build your empire. You don't if you don't communicate and you don't trust that person, you're wasting your time.
If you're not honest.
And if you're not honest, honesty is definitely the way to go. So just be your main thing is to be yourself. Don't act out of character to impress this other person because eventually when you get comfortable enough, you're going to reveal who you are anyway. So just be who you are. And if they don't appreciate that or accept you for who you are, it is what it is.
Okay, I
What
want
you
to
got to say?
answer that question because I got to. Okay, definitely communication. I'll say communication. I'll say patience, and I say try to deal with the understanding gist of it instead of having certain things your way or being upset that they're like a different way because I feel like me and him we clashed a lot because it's two people from two different upbringings and we're basically learning how to be with one another and that was very hard because he was like so different to me because as you know I'm talkative and I'm more outgoing and he's more quiet and laid back
Mm-hmm.
and in certain situations, say like we have like a disagreement or our communication, the way we communicate is different. It'll be different. Cause I'm used to, okay, I will talk. I want to get stuff like, all right, babe, let's talk about this so we can get over it. And he will shut down and he'll walk away. Like he don't want to talk about it. Like, give me my time so I can deal with this and then we'll talk about it later. And I'm more so like, I want to address it now. But we somehow we just learned how to like really, we just learned to communicate. And I think a lot of that has to do with the understanding, because even though our views are still different in a lot of things, we understand. It's like, I understand why you do these, blah, blah, whatever. And you understand, blah, blah. I don't necessarily, you don't want to change your partner. Of course, for the better, that's great. But you don't want to change them, like change who they are. And we got through a lot of stuff just by understanding who each other is as an individual. Um, so yeah, and it helped. It definitely helped. We're not ghetto, so
Not at all.
we
Not at all.
communicate about everything, like everything. I tell them every single thing. Every single. If somebody texts me right now, babe, I just got a text message from. I tell him everything. And I mean, I have to ask him to tell me stuff, but whatever. He'll still tell me.
I'm boring, so there's really not much to tell.
He
But
is. I have a very
I
interesting
tell you
life
about work,
of nothing.
and football, but nah. But on the real though, just it's all about also about finding a balance in your relationship. Respecting where the other person is coming from. Always make sure you spend plenty of time with that person. Quality time is key, especially if that person of love language. Definitely learn your love language. Learn your love language.
Mm.
Definitely explore it because you'll learn about yourself and the other person, and from there, sky's the limit. Love language is very important.
Yes,
Very
and
important.
my love language is definitely quality time. Quality time and what's the other one? Acts of service.
Yep.
Like, show me you love me by wash the dishes, babe. Take out the garbage.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
And mine is definitely words of affirmation and physical touch. That's mine. So
All
he always
right.
touch my.
she has nice hands. So
All
yeah.
right.
He
Well,
likes to be in the back of her brother.
all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. And that's gonna do it for this episode. I thank you guys for your time. Thank you all so much for tuning in, everyone who did, and I will see you guys on Saturday. Actually, I'll announce our special guest. So we'll have a special type of Halloween episode. More on that later. See you guys later. Peace.
Oh, you wearing a costume?
I am not wearing a costume.
Oh,
You have to.
you got to. Come
You
on,
have
bro.
to.
Mm. You know what? For
Break out
you,
your
for you, I'll
you gotta break
consider
out your Step Brothers costume when you was like 14.
it. But yeah, but for you, I'll consider one. All right.
All right.